king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones. The seas be ours, and by the powers where we will we roam.
So many things have happened, and so many things are continuing to happen, and so many thoughts are emerging, and so many new perspectives are being integrated. It's heavy. Lately, my mind has been very foggy. It has been very mush and lucid and very fluid compared to what it is normally. Because the last few days I've had conversations that goes into many different aspects of reality, and we're talking about things that allows for new processes to take place, things that don't normally happen when you're having a normal conversation. And I didn't realize this. Honestly, it wasn't until I heard other people having the same observation that they will have a conversation with someone and they will start talking from a reality and a possibility that is so far outside of what the person knows that it will dislodge some of their reality, if you will, and they will feel like kind of like I do now. But after having done this so many times, after having my reality kind of built up and shattered and just rebuilt from new perspectives, after having let an older version of me kind of fall from the ship, if you will, I'm getting used to it. No calm sea ever made a skilled captain, so it's an interesting feeling because every time it happens, I know that there's an integration. There's a process taking place that is allowing me to see this new reality with new clarity, and every time that happens, magic takes place. I'm not sure how to explain it otherwise. It can be. It can be explained in so many ways because it seems to be the natural thing. So what boggles me then is how not more people are feeling like that. How more people are not going into that space and trying to see what more can be created or what more can we do or what is possible. I guess after a while you just get lonely, honestly, because if you're the only one trying to force yourself to see the reality that we all subscribe to from a lens of more limitless freedom or more creation or just feeling better or just feeling seen, heard, or understood, which is less and less normal these days. I think that if more people saw that, the world would be different. Fear wouldn't have as much control over us. We would be able to reach out whenever we felt like I'm doing all this alone. I'm the only person in the world feeling like this. One might think, but that has also boggled my mind. There are so many similar cases, so many similar fears, so many patterns that we all go through at all levels of the journey, regardless of you just starting out or being at the top level of success perceived. It seems like we forgot that we are humans. There are patterns and processes that has to go and take place for people to integrate a new way of seeing reality. But it seems like this is a pretty new concept because today most people are just being told that they are crazy or they have a diagnosis or there is something wrong with them, and then they try to fix that problem with something that doesn't really fix the problem. Puts a band-aid on something that is way, way deeper. I'm going to continue to just expand my perspectives, to expand my consciousness and try to see how much more expansive can it be. Because I think that if I reach a level of freedom to such a degree where anything that I can think of can be put into place and manifested and done, I think that is something worthwhile to focus on and to build towards, because it will help my kids, the people around me, the people I care about, and not to mention do something about all the pain that is just everywhere with no clear direction to fix it or to just make it a little better. Because, there's not 1 and 100. There's not just black and white. There's not on and off. There's not night and day. There is a spectrum in between. And people seem to think that if you have to make a change, you have to go from the very beginning to wherever your goal is, regardless of how huge and expansive it is. But it does take time. It does take a lot of processes, and it takes a journey, and it takes facing your fear. It takes seeing your gift. It takes you actually being worthy in yourself to achieve and receive what you want to receive in this reality. Many people just don't have that courage to go out there and speak their truth. Of course, because we're conditioned to do differently. Or many people don't feel like their words have meaning or worth, or that their experience can help another person. You have no idea how many people I'm talking to, and like, I can arrest them. Like, you have this gift. Why are you not just seeing that? Holy crap. And they don't see it because it's normal for them. And that normalcy shrouds their genius. Their genius does not come out because they think that is just something that everyone does. And then when everyone does it, why is it valuable? So you don't do anything to get it out there to help someone. And if you don't feel fulfilled or feel like you have meaning or do anything that really pulls you through and above and towards your journeys and dreams and goals, if you don't have that energy, I don't see a good reality. So I have come to the point where I would rather die than go back, and I will attempt to do everything that I can. I will not even attempt. I will do everything that I can in order to see that other people can see that same reality in themselves, where they have the power of their creation, their life. I don't know why that ranted up in there, but all of this has happened because I've had these expansive conversations lately. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job in having expansive conversations. I thought that people I talked to and have been talking to for 5 to 10 years actually was the most interesting conversations I could have. I could not imagine having better conversations because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I had just found this level of conversation. So if I was here, all of a sudden I'm here, and I can't even imagine what is here, right? But at every level, and it has kept doing this for 10 years, I'm pretty sure that there is no level that is saying stop. There is no tap or no end to this. It will just continue to expand with each conversation that brings with it a new insight or a new value or something, a perspective that allows for growth in how I see reality. And when it happens, I feel like this. I feel mushed. And then thoughts began to balance out, and all of a sudden you are able to operate on a different frequency and do things that previously seemed impossible. Like when I work, and I choose to work every other week. When I work 20-hour days, and I sleep for 4 hours. And I feel bad for sleeping for 4 hours. Because I love what I do so much that I would rather do that as much as I can in order to be with my family and have adventures and do everything that I feel like doing when I want it with whomever I want to do it with. That comes with a different energy, especially when you see that it is possible, because that is also something that is being overcomplicated. I'm not going to go into those rants right now, because there are many things to be talked about, there are many things to be discussed, and there are many things to be having in brainstorm sessions, and just as we create these new ideas that can flourish into something that we cannot even imagine. But we do that inside of the core. And I highly invite you. I don't know if that is even a grammatically correct sentence to say, but I do highly invite you. You need to see this to experience it and to believe it, because whatever I say can never really provide the experience. And now, having had so many conversations like this and knowing that there are limitless to be had, and I know how to facilitate that growth, that expansion in how a conversation can be elevated or a thought pattern can emerge that is just going to breach through that current barrier of how far we can see our own reality. There is a freaking science to this magic. And I look forward to having you inside the core so that we can experience it together. Meet me around the round table. The gates are open.
What if there were a place for you, the visionary, the world builder, as you forge your legacy, as you expand in life, in business, in your highest mission? What if there were a round table to have the depth of conversation that you truly desire? If you're ready to crack open the molten core of your most elevated work on the planet, if you desire sovereign expansion on an accelerated timeline, and a real and potent activation of your gifts, your business, your global impact, we're calling you to a place where your visions are supported and multidimensionally activated, from personal evolution to wealth and business. It all connects at the core. The gates are open.